This fictional attack in the movie Ocean's 11. We demonstrated electromagnetic interference on a much smaller, less threatening scale at the University of Maryland, showing how magnetic fields from some electronic devices often interfere with other devices.
You hear this ringing behind me? We're showing you what electromagnetic interference is. Say this television is a car. The car's function is rolling along normally. Here's the cell phone ringing. When it gets close to that, you can see how the audio of the television signal changes. You can hear the interference. That's essentially, it's interfering with the car's function.
But with a large-scale EMP attack, experts say, computers would fail, telecommunications cut off, bank accounts inaccessible. They say that's because the transformers that power many electrical grids take a long time to manufacture and transport. And with transportation knocked out by the attack, that prolongs the isolation.
So that's what something like this would look like. And again, people have a tough time wrapping their head around it because they say, well, they would never want us off our phones. They would never want us off our tech. But the truth of the matter is to reset things and get people back on the type of technology they want them on, which would be a fully controlled technology. Technically, to me, I would believe it would be a type of technology, a cell phone that's inside your body, because they could say, look, this could never happen again. You won't have to worry about losing your data, right? They could do things with the EMP that would wipe out your bank accounts. Oh my gosh, the whole grid went down, it came back on, nobody had money in their bank. There are so many endless things that they can make up with a solar flare. And again, if the grid goes down for an extended period of time, so let's just say hypothetically the grid was down for 3 months or 6 months, people will lose their minds. Okay, not only will people run out of food, which they want to cause chaos on the surface here, right? People running out of food, people robbing and looting, trying to find food, and of course, who will end up having food? Who will end up helping, giving out a helping hand? Big Brother will. Right? And this will lead more people to Big Brother. This will lead people to be under more control of Big Brother because they'll, of course, tell people, look, if you want food and you want water from us, then you need to follow our protocols and our orders. That's why it's so. And remember, shutting down the grid works perfectly for them from the standpoint of bringing the grid back and bringing back the type of grid that they want to bring back, which is a green grid, right? If the whole grid goes down and they were going to bring a new grid in, then even the Republicans will be like, all right, I guess we could do a green energy grid. Now that all the grid is destroyed, you know, we have all the technology, everything ready to bring in a solar panel. And of course, this would be a limited amount of energy that we would all have. And this would be completely controlled. This would give them control over your thermostat. It would give them control over your electricity. They'd have the ability to shut your electricity off and your thermostat off at will, which, I mean, technically, can you say that they do now? I mean, you could, I guess, technically say they could shut your grid off if they feel like it. But they need an excuse to do these things. They can't just do it. They can't just make it suspicious. They can't get people going after them. So they can use events like solar flares, or at least tell us that there's going to be a massive solar flare to give them an opportunity to completely wipe tech off and use a potential EMP type of thing that they would create, an electromagnetic pulse that they could potentially create. But again, it would shut the grid off. It would destroy all technology, which means your phones wouldn't work, which would cause absolute chaos.
We're almost at a point of grid collapse. It's a reality that South Africans must know, that we're heading to darkness and ANC politicians